What's up, guys? This is a quick guide on how to change the glow plugs on the 2005-2006 Jeep Liberty CRD with the 2.8 turbocharged diesel. So some of these vehicles have been upgraded to a 5-volt glow plug. To make sure, I highly suggest you just take one out, you look at the glow plug, and it should tell you whether it's a 5 or a 7-volt glow plug. That way, when you do get your parts, you get the right ones. So the way you start this job is you go ahead and you disconnect both terminals on your battery and you remove it. That'll give you a lot more room to work with. After that, you want to come to the passenger side. You want to loosen this clamp, and then you want to disconnect your air box from it. The way you do that is you take the air box, you wiggle it while you pulling up, and that'll release it from this rubber grommets. And basically that'll give you a lot of room to get to the tensioner pulley, which you will attach a 50mm socket and a breaker bar while turning clockwise to release the tension from the belt so that you can slide it off of the alternator pulley. Once you have the belt off the alternator pulley, you want to go ahead and get to this bolt, and another one over here. Those 3 bolts are holding onto the alternator. Once you take those off, you can remove the alternator and have it out of your way. Next step after that is you want to follow this hose down, and then you're gonna find that it ends up at the intake elbow. So you want to loosen the clamp and then remove that out of the way. You don't have to remove this side, you just have to remove the one side. And then I use the alternator bolt to kind of like just hold it in place while I'm working. After that, there is 4 bolts that hold this intake elbow to the manifold. So you want to get those 4 bolts out. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. You want to get those out. And there is 2 more bolts that attach to the elbow itself. One is right here that holds the dipstick, and the other one holds this hard line right here. So you want to find those 2, you want to remove them, and once you do that, you want to go ahead and get to the clamp that's right here. Now the only trick to that clamp is that you have to remove that clamp completely, because if you don't do that, it's going to be very hard to remove. I had to find out the hard way, so I'll show you why that clamp is so hard to remove. This is the clamp that's in there, and obviously when it's installed, it's collapsed. And basically you have to remove it completely out in order for those 2 pieces, that hard line and the elbow, to separate. I'll show you how those made together. Excuse that it's so dirty, but I'm gonna have to clean it before I install it back up. So basically that's where that line meets. And you want to put some RTV on there before you put it back on. That way you have no type of leaks. So basically that's where the hose goes. That's where the 4 bolts attached to. That's 1 bolt right there for the line. And where's the other one? I believe it's right there. And basically, like I said, you're gonna have to remove that completely in order to successfully remove that elbow. After you've done that, the only other thing you want to do is you want to take this 2 nuts off that hold the priming pump in place, and you want to slide it one over. That'll give you a lot more room to work with, and so that you can get to that last glow plug. Right here you have a really good visual of where all your glow plugs are. You have number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4 right there. What you want to do is you want to grab a 10mm socket and a 1/4 inch drive, and you want to carefully remove those out straight out. Make sure you don't snap anything. And after that, once you put the new ones in, make sure you put some anti-seize on the threads only, so that it's not impossible to remove them the next time. And you want to put a tiny smidge of that electric grease on the connector. That's just to prevent corrosion and make it harder for water to get in there, if it was ever any water getting in there. After that, everything else is a reverse process. You want to install a new gasket on that elbow. You want to put some RTV at the bottom of the elbow. Obviously you want to clean the elbow itself. You want to make sure that all your connectors go back in the right place, and you want to make sure you have a clean filter on your air box, and check all the fluids since you're right here. So hopefully you guys are successful at changing this out. I find it very hard to find any guidance other than one video that didn't really show me how much of a pain in the ass that elbow was to take out. So hopefully this helps, and you don't need too many tools. A 50mm socket is the biggest thing you need, other than the breaker bar. So if you have those things, if you have a regular toolkit in your house, you can easily do this. You don't need to jack the vehicle up or anything. So like I said, I hope this helped, and you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.